For developing serverless applications, we as developers will use the same set of tools which we would typically use to develop any other application, starting with an IDE like Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA, a build tool like Maven or Gradle, a source control tool like Git, which are very straightforward. But when it comes to the deployment of a serverless application, it is a little more involved. Starting with building the application and packaging it into a zip file, uploading the zip file into an S3 bucket or onto a S3 bucket, create the IAM roles that are required to trigger our Lambda function, create all the other resources or components that our Lambda function interacts with, or the resources that trigger the Lambda function itself, then create the Lambda function itself using the Lambda service, and finally configure the permissions that are required for our Lambda function to interact with other components in the serverless application itself. So to automate this entire process of infrastructure creation, the security setup, etc., we can use the CloudFormation service, which is infrastructure as service. But we'll have to write a lot of lines of code or configuration to accomplish it when we use CloudFormation. That is where serverless application frameworks come in. AWS SAM, which stands for Serverless Application Model, is one such framework which takes care of all these steps which you see on the right hand side. And the configuration file for AWS SAM is very simple when compared to a CloudFormation template. So this is how the template file will look like. You will be learning each and every line of this file in lectures later on. With these lines of code here, we not only configure our Lambda function, we'll also configure the resources that trigger the Lambda function and the resources that are required for this Lambda function to work. It could be DynamoDB database tables, it could be a SNS topic, a SQS queue, all that can be set up here. And with a couple of lines of code, you can set up the security policies. The IAM roles that are required to execute your Lambda function will be automatically created for you thanks to SAM, the Serverless Application Model, which is a serverless framework. There are several other frameworks that are available in the market, but this one is from AWS and very easy to use. Once you master how to use this, you can work with any other serverless application development framework out there if required. So SAM is an extension of CloudFormation, or it is a superset of CloudFormation. You can not only use the SAM elements within this configuration file. If you want to, you can directly use anything from CloudFormation in your SAM template.aml. So using SAM, the entire infrastructure creation for your Lambda, not just a Lambda function, all the resources that are required can be created, all the permissions will be assigned, and it brings down all that process of deployment which you see here into two simple commands. From your machine, once you create a serverless project using SAM, you write your code and then you execute SAM build, SAM deploy, and you go check the AWS console, you have the entire infrastructure. So once you have this template.aml file that you're going to create, the CI/CD, the continuous integration and continuous deployment for your serverless project becomes very simple. Anybody can take this file and create the entire infrastructure for testing, staging, production, wherever they want. So you're going to learn SAM and use it to create, build, and deploy your serverless projects throughout the course.